Hello guys, welcome to SK Legal Vlogs. In this vlogs, the concept is Paris Convention on Industrial Property, which is one of the concept of intellectual property rights. The Paris Convention applies to industrial property in the widest sense, including patents, trademarks, industrial designs, utility models, service marks, trade names, geographical designs, indications, and the representations of unfair competition. The substantive provisions of the convention fall into three main categories, that is national treatment, right of property and common rules. Under the provisions of on national treatment, the convention provides that as regards the protection of industrial property, each contracting state must grant the same protection to nationals of other contracting states that it grants to its own nationals. Nationals of non-contracting states are also entitled to national treatment under the convention if they are domiciled or have a real and effective industrial or commercial establishment in a contracting state. Second is the convention provides for the right of priority in the case of patents, marks and industrial designs. This right means that on the basis of a regular first application filed in one of the contracting states, the applicant may within a certain period of time apply for protection in any of the other contracting states. These subsequent applications will be regarded as if they had been filed on the same day as the first application. One of the great practical advantages of this provision is that applicants seeking protection in several countries are not required to present all of their applications at the same times, but have 6 or 12 months to decide in which countries they wish to seek protection and to organize with due care the steps necessary for securing protection. Third, the convention lays down a few common rules that all contracting states must follow, out of which the most important are patents. Patents granted in different contracting states for the same invention are independent of each other, and the granting of a patent in one contracting state does not oblige other contracting states to grant a patent. A patent cannot be refused, annulled, or terminated in any contracting state on the ground that it has been refused or annulled or has terminated in any other contracting state. The inventor has the right to be named as such in the patent. The grant of a patent may not be refused and the patent may not be invalidated on the ground that the sale of the patented product or of a product obtained by means of the patented process is subject to restrictions or limitations resulting from the domestic law. Each contracting state that takes legislative measures providing for the grant of compulsory licenses to prevent the abuses which might result from the exclusive rights conferred by a patent may do so only under certain conditions. A compulsory license not granted by the owner of the patent but by the public authority of the state concerned based on the failure to work or insufficient working of the patent invention. The second one is marks. The Paris Convention does not regulate the conditions for the filing and registration of a marks, which are determined in each contracting state by domestic law. Consequently, no application for the registration of a mark filed by the national of a contracting state may be refused, nor may a registration be invalidated on the ground that the filing, registration, or renewal has not been effected in the country of origin. The registration of a mark obtained in one contracting state is independent of its possible registration in any other country, including the country of origin. So, where a mark has been duly registered in the country of origin, it must on request be accepted for filing and protected in its original form in the other contracting states. Nevertheless, registration may be refused in well-defined cases, such as where the mark would infringe the acquired rights of the third party and where it is devoid of a distinctive character, where it is contrary to the morality or public order, or where it is of such a nature as to be liable to deceive the public. If in any contracting state the use of a registered mark is compulsory, the registration cannot be cancelled for non-use until after a reasonable period, and then only if the owner cannot justify this inaction. Each contracting state must refuse registration and prohibit the use of marks that constitute a reproduction, imitation, or translation. Each contracting state must likewise refuse registration and prohibit the use of marks that consist of or contain without authorization armorial bearings. And the state emblems and official signs and hallmarks of contracting states, provided that they have been communicated through the International Bureau of BPO, and the same provisions apply to armorial bearings such as flags, other emblems, abbreviations, and names of certain intergovernmental organizations. Collective mark must be granted protection. Like one is industrial designs. Industrial designs must be protected in each contracting state, and the protection may not be forfeited on the ground that the articles incorporating the design are not manufactured in that state. And the trade names. Protection must be granted to the trade names in each contracting state without there being any obligation to file or register the names. Next one is the indication of source. Measures must be taken by each contracting state against direct or indirect use of a false indication of the source of goods or the identity of their producer, manufacturer, or trader. The last one is unfair competition. Each contracting state must provide for effective protection against unfair competition. The Paris Union, established by the convention, has an assembly and an executive committee. Every state that is a member of the union and has adhered to at least the administrative and final provision of the Stockholm Act is a member of the assembly. The members of the executive committee are elected from among the members of the union except for Switzerland, which is a member of ex officio. The Paris Convention, concluded in 1883, was revised at Brussels in 1900 and in Washington in 1911, at The Hague in 1925, and so on. The convention is open to all states. Instruments of ratification or accession must be deposited with the Director General of WIPO. Thanks for watching this vlog.